The most famous musicians in the world, most of them, like 99% of them, they cannot even read music.
And I can see that it's a problem.
I always meet the best people in my life just totally randomly when I was looking for the toilet.
He called me like on the phone at like 3 a.m.
I shot some amazing content with a violinist called Esther Abrami. I didn't fall in love with her. The whole cabin crew was like kind of shocked. The captain called actually security at the airport for me. After 24 hours, the video made 17 million views. It was my most viral video ever. Like this guy, which I never met personally, but I just know that he hates me. More people hate you, more it means you're succeeding.
Every single of these girls, they send me a screenshot and the DM goes like, did you sleep with Aurelien?
He wasn't happy at all. He got super angry at me. I'm not scared of the repercussion.
This sounds very wrong, guys.
So welcome to this new episode of French Piano Guys. Today we have very, very special guest, VIP guest. His name is Emilio Piano. So I think he doesn't need an introduction, but let me introduce him to you. So Emilio Piano is our best friend, we can say that. And we have known him for many, many years. Maybe we'll tell you later, guys, the story of how we met. But most importantly, he's nowadays very, very big creator on the piano scene in the world. And today we are very happy to ask him a lot of questions. So your actual name is Emile, but everybody knows you as Emilio Piano.
So that is the first question, how I came up with Emilio Piano?
Yeah, why is it Emilio Piano and
that's
not
actually
Emile?
a crazy story.
Very good question.
Yes, actually many people ask me about this and crazy story. Because what happened is that Emile Piano was taken.
Okay, great.
I love, man. It's so inspiring. Emilio, you told us you live, nowadays you live in Warsaw, Poland.
Yes.
But you were supposed to live in Paris together with Julien.
Yes.
So we're waiting for you. What are you doing there?
Well, that's a very good question. No, actually, I would say that I live. I'm a homeless.
Yeah.
Because I live everywhere, and Warsaw just happens to be the city where my projects can fructify. It can grow like a lot. I met wonderful people.
What kind of people did you meet in Warsaw then?
Yes. I met. I think that the most significant meeting was with a producer called Wojciech Urbanski.
Okay.
And yes, we met the same way. Like I always meet the best people in my life, just totally randomly, when I was looking for the toilet.
Okay.
And yeah.
He was in the toilets? He was before you in the toilets, or?
No, I was looking for the toilets during a photo shoot. Mm-hmm. And there was another studio where he was working as a producer. And when I saw the studio on my way to the toilet, I asked him what he's doing. Is he a musician? And happens to be like one of the best, or maybe the best producer in Poland.
Okay.
And yes, at that time I wanted to make my own music. But you need a good producer for that. And yes, actually, that is the best combo if you want to make good music, to have a good producer. And he also happens to have a big team of people who help him in creating the music, and now they also help me with editing videos. Sound engineering, everything that we actually need during the videos, but just to make it more professional. Mm-hmm. So, yes.
So, I'm very curious about this. You said you're making your own music. So, everybody knows you right now as a classical pianist. And we had like the same kind of piano education in conservatory. Mm-hmm. So, when did you make this switch of going from classical pianist to pianist of another style? I don't know what style. What is the style of the music you're doing now? Can you describe it?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm searching myself. I would say that it's probably going to be piano music, very meditative piano style, and that's a style which I really got inspired to dive in together with the producer, because it's like when you have a good producer, everything there sounds better because there is the electronic sound with it compared with the piano. You will see, it's really sounds amazing.
I'm really curious actually. To hear.
It will be nice.
Do you know actually when it's coming out?
We are planning to release everything by the end of May, but we are very optimistic.
Yes, everything, like the whole album?
A whole album, yes.
By the end of May?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I feel like that would be kind of a record time to put out an album, given you started a month or two ago or something?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Well, it's what I realized is that making music, it's if you want to make it really on a high level, you don't make it on your own. So it's a big team involved in this, and no one makes music on their own, actually.
Yeah, actually, talking of that, it makes me think I just saw this new video come up on YouTube of Jake, who did Golden Hour, and apparently he just collaborated with Microsoft AI department to write the orchestral part of Golden Hour and play it with an orchestra.
Did you listen to it, to the result?
Yes, I did, actually. I don't really have an opinion because at the end, like, it was just like long notes for the orchestra. So I really felt like the AI didn't take too many risks. And the orchestra itself was sounded a bit like an amateur orchestra. So, like, I was more actually judgmental of the quality of the players than of the composition by the AI itself. It was
actual players who played a score that was written by an AI?
Yeah. That was the whole point, actually.
It was not a synthetic sound?
No, because this he could do himself.
Yeah.
And he's very good at that. So he produces all of his music.
Okay.
He's the producer. So obviously, like that's a big thing and it's worked really well. But the whole project, this is what he explained in the video, was to be able to make like a version with an actual orchestra.
Okay.
Actual instruments, real instruments. He was saying it was the first time he was playing with real instruments. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's not his specialty, to be an arranger for like instruments. Producer is different. So I was quite interested when I saw the thing come up, but actually I don't feel like I learned much. I don't really understand what the AI did at the end of the day, but it just made me think of that.
It orchestrated the music, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I think that would be actually one of the easiest tasks to give to an AI to do orchestration. Because
it follows a lot of rules, actually. We
exactly.
learn rules.
You are limited by the range of each instrument, and a big part of orchestration is just knowing who can play what, like physically.
Yes.
So, I mean, it would be easier to do that compared to just like composing music for an AI. I think.
Yeah, but for us, it's something that takes a lot of years to learn. So it's amazing that now AI can do that. How are you using AI, artificial intelligence, in your everyday life?
I listened to some AI composing, actually, some music in different styles, like style of Bach and other composer. Each time it was very bad, but I think it's just a step, It will become better.
When we met today in the cafe, you were listening to music for dentists? Made by AI.
Yeah, I was on the website of this app that composes, that helps you compose music with the help of AI. I forget the name of the app, but I think it's super famous. And there was like an interview of the founder of this app that I lost it now. Now I'm on Contrôle Technique Paris. Wait, what was it again? Okay, anyway, we'll put it on the screen, the name of the app. But the guy who founded this website where you can create music, compose music with AI. He was saying that he expects in, I don't know, 5 or 10 years to have 1 billion users in the world. And he thinks he can generate, he can have like
what do you think, guys?
$10 per user and generate 120 billion dollars per month.
So users would use the app to compose their own music.
And basically on the website, you just go and they give you examples of like things like cues that you can put into the app to hear the music. And so one example was like music at your dentist's or something.
So you give like a prompt,
or like music about the moon, or like really vague things, and then you hear a song and it just sounds like a really normal song.
Moonlight shining in the midnight sky, a cosmic dance.
Did you say you use ChatGPT a lot? So
Yes.
as a musician?
As a musician?
Just in general, like what do you
As
use
a
it for?
content creator, you could say.
Actually, for almost every question I ask myself. I'm now even asking ChatGPT for an idea of a next video I should do, and it's crazy good.
Yeah.
Or now I split with my manager, and yes, I he used to write my emails.
Okay.
And so now what I do when I receive an important email, I just write down my ideas very fast. Like you couldn't even understand what I want to say in those emails, and then I put it in ChatGPT to refine this text, and they write like really super professional emails, and it's just saving me so much time, like hours of my life.
Okay. Interesting.
And you don't use?
I've used it like a bit, but not that much. Not for.
Well, you learn to use it more and more.
Yeah.
And after time, it's like you cannot get rid of it anymore.
Next topic?
Next topic.
Yeah. Next topic. Well, Emile, since you're our guest, we might like ask you a few more questions so everyone can know about you and a bit like your story. Obviously, we know most of your story since we know you so well. But yeah, I think it would be great for people to hear about what inspired you to want to start the piano, become a pianist, and maybe also
from the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning, and then maybe how you ended up making videos on social media and all of that as well.
How I started piano, it's I used to be a very shy kid. And
Yes, I know.
yes,
It's hard to believe now,
yes,
but everyone I meet who knew you when you were a kid, they confirm.
yes.
I
Because you didn't know me, yes. That's
I
true.
didn't know you when you were younger, but I recently met one of your friends from high school. And I said, so how was Emile in high school? And he said, very shy.
Yes, I was extremely shy. Couldn't even talk to anyone. Was forced into seeing therapists because I couldn't communicate. And the piano was a world where I could find myself. Would not have to talk with anyone and just, get into a new world. Kind of like today, probably many people use actually social media.
Yeah.
There, I think,
Or
more
like
and
video
more.
games.
Or video games, yeah.
Yeah.
But like shy people now, instead of like being forced to talk with someone, which is very difficult and stressful, for someone who is shy, they can just scroll and immediately they get drawn into a new world.
And they have social interactions without
Social
the
interactions.
downside.
Yes.
Yeah.
But mainly, I think it's going into a world with people where there are interactions, and I think that's why our videos are viral, because in our videos there are interactions, there are people reacting. It's like you're getting into a new world.
Yeah, I think that's a very fundamental ingredient of the virality, the
Yes.
social part.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not even the music; it's really the social bonding that happens.
Well,
in the video.
it's so interesting. It's like at the end of the day, we have the possibility for, like, in terms of content that we can consume, we can see everything. We have Netflix, we have millions, billions, I don't know how many films on there, and YouTube and
Yeah.
TikTok, at the end of the day, what do a lot of people want to see? The most simple thing in life, just two people meeting, talking.
Yeah.
Very simple music, which is very, very universal as well.
And very basic human interaction.
Yeah.
But also a nice setting,
Yeah.
beautiful light. The next level of our videos is just to have immersive social media where you can actually feel like you are really in the video and you can hear us playing, see reactions of others right next to you. Can you imagine? I think, yes, that's what I was talking about with Chen. We should make this same videos which we do right now.
You mean in virtual reality?
Yeah, for
Okay.
the Apple Vision Pro.
So
Yeah.
you were talking about why you started piano
Yeah,
as a kid,
yes.
and then what happened next?
After learning piano,
Yeah. How did you end up like making it a career and not just a hobby?
yeah, I think good question actually. Why did I start piano? I would say because it was something I was good at, and therefore, no. I think also it's because there was this challenge part. Actually, because I was not good at it. Because there was always something to improve, so it never ended. But yeah, after some time, I realized that it's a never-ending process, and that you can just lose your life getting better at the piano. And then I started social media.
Okay, yeah, I understand. I think it's a very relatable epiphany that you had.
Yeah, I think we all feel pretty similar.
Yeah.
There's a long time when you're very motivated by this never-ending process of always getting better at perfecting the art, because there's something very beautiful about that. But there comes a point where you're like, okay, maybe I would like to have more connection with the real world and real people, and more direct results, really.
Yeah, I feel like it's like playing a game, and you can always get better at this game and stay in the game for the rest of your life, which is like the game is playing piano. And then you can also decide, okay, I'm going to step out of this game and just use it to win at the bigger game, which is life. And so you end up like having so much more fun along the way, because everything is more complex. It's like getting of a little virtual world, getting outside of the little virtual world, and to get into the real world, and to win.
And to do that, you are using virtual
exactly.
social media.
That's how I saw it the other day.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's a good metaphor.
And I think that us three, we kind of stopped the classical road for the same reason, which is just we worked like crazy. And sometimes I win, but mostly I didn't. And then I just asked myself, what was the point of all of this?
It's true. I think for me, there was especially one competition that I really prepared like crazy. I practiced so much. I prepared it for like a year.
I remember.
Yeah. Like a year before I told you, yes,
person.
I'm going to practice every day 8 hours before this competition.
Which competition?
Bach competition in Leipzig, like the biggest Bach competition in the world. And I really love Bach, so I was very motivated for this competition. And you told me when I said I'm going to practice 8 hours a day, every day, for a year, you said, man, you're going to become crazy. I was like, no, but it's just motivation, just 1 year. Yeah, well, I did become a bit crazy. You were kind of right. But especially what was horrible, so along the way I participated in another competition, also like another Bach competition, which I actually got second prize in. So that one was like cool in terms of like what the recognition. But for the Leipzig one, in the end, it like I got through one round, but afterwards it didn't work out. And I know this sounds weird, but like I felt like I deserved to go further, especially because it was like a video round. And so I really could see what I did, and I could see what the others did, like objectively. Mm-hmm. I could just watch the videos. It wasn't like I played and based on like how I remember that I play.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, whether I really deserved or not, that's not really the point, but it was crazy to realize how much all this work that I put in depended on 5 human beings in the jury deciding whether who should go to the next round. And I just realized, yeah, of course, this is extremely subjective, and maybe, you know, I listened to like the people who were in the jury. I listened to them as pianists. I was like, well, I don't like how they play, so it makes sense that they probably don't like how I play. And it's not because this competition is called like the Bach competition that actually, you know, it's directly connected to Bach or whatever. But yeah, I think it's very difficult. That's something that's extremely difficult when you're an artist, is that art is something that is not objective, but then you're still going to be like judged by human beings who are subjective by nature, and it's this difficult position to put yourself in. So I think now, like, it's nicer to be in a position where the judgment is more like objective, in the sense of it's just about whether people enjoy, whether people like what we're doing, and that's objective because it's accepting to be subjective. Yeah. Instead of someone who is subjective telling you that objectively you are good or you are not good. So I think actually, it's a more healthy situation to be in, where you just accept the subjectivity of people, and you just see how you can make stuff that people enjoy.
Yes, I lost a bit the end of the... But yeah, it's crazy when we think about how much time we spent. Do you remember Klang Manufacture?
Yes, man.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, I do. I mean,
we spent just crazy.
We were so dedicated, you know.
Yeah.
Like, for what?
For what?
But they're still good memories. I mean, practicing until 5 in the morning, all night.
Good memories.
In a way,
for me, it was not a good memory at all.
Part of it?
I think I was lost at that time.
Yeah.
I was so lost. And now it's funny because people who see the success on social media say that, it was worse that you practiced all this time. But no, it has nothing to do with that.
Still a bit.
Yeah, that's the crazy part, I think. Like how little of the skills that we had before we need to use now.
Yes. We could have started so much earlier.
Yes and no. Like, we need them 1% of the time, but we still use them.
But I think with you it's different because you had a much shorter period of learning piano.
No. I think actually, if we put it all together... Yeah, I did.
And then piano.
Yeah. But like, if we put it all together, I think we all... I mean, I started piano a bit younger when I was a kid, then I stopped. And maybe you and Aurelien, you started later, but then you didn't stop. But I think we all still did a lot of piano. But what I was saying is, even if most of our, some of the videos that we do that go viral, we are playing just like 3 chords, and definitely we don't need all our years of piano to play that. But, some of the videos we are playing like real difficult classical pieces. And for that, it's useful.
Still, yeah. Actually, the videos that perform best for me are those where I intentionally play quite bad. What?
No, I would disagree. I've seen your videos. I think like almost any video of you, we can see your virtuosity. I think that's part of the success, actually, of your videos.
Come on.
Yeah.
In my videos.
For sure, man.
The virtuosity.
Yeah, virtuosity, yeah. I think, you see even in simple things a real pianist compared to like an amateur pianist. You see in the way the hand is placed, the way the fingers.
Yeah, it was like you see it as a pianist.
Yeah, okay, but still, like I still stand by what I said. That I think you can tell.
I had a friend who was a very, very high level math and AI researcher in MIT and stuff, and then he founded a company, finance company using AI, and he was telling every VC fund that his company was going to be good because he had such a big background in math. But he always told me in private man, you don't imagine how few of the skills I'm actually using in my company. Like what I'm using as far as technique is concerned is really like first year of bachelor of university. But I tell all the investors that I'm using my knowledge because I'm a MIT doctorant, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of
That's
sense.
a status.
I can
Thing.
definitely see how it's true. But I still think that probably this guy, there's still 1% of what he learned in each year, including the last years, including like the PhD thesis. There's maybe 1% of that, maybe not like the technical skills, but like the general skills.
Like
the
more meta skills.
Meta skills, like how to think, how to do research, or like how to cope with really difficult problems and tasks. I think at least 1 or 2% of that is helping him in his company, and those are maybe the 1% that makes the company really successful.
Yeah,
and I think to a certain degree for us, it's similar. I mean, if you look like in our niche, like the piano videos on TikTok and Instagram and everything, there are a lot of people who did them and who had like millions of followers, but now they are not able to continue making viral videos anymore, and we are. So
but I don't think it has anything to do with their piano skills. I would compare it more like learning a language where you just need actually 10,000 words to be able to be fluent in a language, and you don't really need to know all the words, but for example, a speaker who knows all the words in a language, he might not be very understandable to someone, rather than someone who knows just those 10,000 words. But he explains it
like Trump,
so that understandable. Like Trump, maybe. I don't know his vocabulary.
Well, it's known about him that he uses very simple words.
But you know what I mean in the music, the same like.
I know exactly what you mean. Of course. It's like you take an amazing jazz pianist who does like crazy improvisations, and you are forced to tell him, play simple, play something stupid, and then it sounds good to like normal people.
For a long time, I saw that was something blocking you, that you had so much knowledge in the classical world that you couldn't actually see like the more popular aspect of the music. But now I see that you are going more into it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the knowledge that blocked me. It's more a matter of aesthetic taste, personal taste.
But I feel like this aesthetic taste comes from your knowledge.
Yeah, that's very deep question. Very deep question. I don't know, but yeah, there are so many music that are viral that I just cannot listen to.
Yeah,
really.
I noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right that it's blocking me some opportunities. But I kind of accept it. I think it's good. It's good to be more unique and to have boundaries. So yeah, I think on the long term it's better for me. But I don't know.
But now you start a bit pop music.
Yeah, I try to. I try to really now stick to like doing what I like and not without putting a label on it. So without saying, okay, this is classical, I can do it. This is not classical, I cannot. But
so you were
more
putting
like,
a label before.
do I like it or not? And for example, but also the taste can evolve. For example, some musics I really don't like listening to them, but when I play them, and in a good orchestration, I like them. Even if someone made me listen, I wouldn't like it. Like Coldplay, I have never seen any beauty in this music when I listen to it. And the fact to play it with a string quartet, I enjoyed the experience. So yeah, usually it's the other way around. First you like to listen, and after you play. But for me, it was this way.
It will maybe be the transition to being a pop artist.
I don't know. That will be
a long way to go still.
Can you imagine in 10 years, Aurelien?
That will be very
playing 4 chords.
The new Sofiane Pamar.
Yes. Sofiane Pamar, yes.
We'll see.
Interesting topic. Should we get into that?
Yeah. You mentioned Sofiane Pamar before because I wanted to ask you when you were talking about your music, you said you didn't really know what style it was.
Yes.
What inspirations would you say you have when composing or when playing it, like as pianists or composers?
You know, when I was in the recording studio with my producer, I sort of getting the inspiration before composing the music, and my producer didn't want that. He blocked it all the time.
What do you
get
mean?
the inspiration.
To listen to someone else?
Yes, to listen and then to go to the recording studio. And but that's how I function. I think we all three function like that because we are classical musicians.
Yeah.
But actually, most of the people don't do like that, and it was so hard. I hope one day I can invite you to a recording studio because this process right now is really difficult to compose music, basically.
So what you're saying is he wants you to just come in, sit down at the piano, and just play whatever, improvise, and get inspired by that.
Yes, which is something that we as classical musicians cannot do. We always start with something we know.
So when you say compose, you were not actually like writing on a paper your music?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I love this question. So you compose what we say computer? Wow.
No, I mean it was so composing at the piano basically, not. It was at the piano or on the computer?
At the piano, yes.
Okay.
Well, you know, it's like on loops. You have loops, and then you try different things. Yeah.
But do you anticipate, for example, the chords of your piece? You say like, okay, this piece we're going to use this chord, this chord, and this chord.
Yes, basically, we tried one way which I think was very good for us, where we have actually on the computer a program which generates 4 chords in a nice way by AI actually, and on that we improvise.
Okay, so you do, you keep the harmony, you improvise the melody and the rhythm.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And so what you improvise is it comparable to like jazz solo, so with melodic lines, or is it more like arpeggios, kind of NOD and stuff?
Well, that's exactly the question which I asked myself as a classical musician.
Yeah.
But then I realized that this is not the way which producers like to have. They have a different way, and I think I didn't fully understand it. That's why I will not like be able to dive deeper into this topic. But when you will hear the music, then we can talk maybe again in the podcast, and I will let you know.
So we will have a listening session all together here.
Yes.
And listen to the music.
Yes. We think of it in a very mathematician way, when actually no one does in the composing world of pop music.
Yeah, I feel like it's more a question of, do you try to tell a story? It's like the video I sent you about NOD. Did you watch it?
Not yet. No, I'm really curious, but I forgot.
There was a guy who looked at all NOD's music and tried to understand how it's made, and it was very interesting because he ended up he figured out that one of the most important features was you cannot have a melody when you try to write a piece like NOD. You can only have harmonies and basically arpeggios, or if you have a melody, you can have like a beginning of melody, like 2-3 notes.
Yes.
But you can never have a full phrase, a musical phrase, from the beginning to the end.
Yes.
Because then it starts to look like someone telling a story, which contradicts the decorative side of NOD.
Because this is a meditative piano music.
Exactly. So that's why I was asking you this. Did you actually like build a story, so a melodic line, or did you just make like decorative
I think that there is a story and the build-up, you know. There is an introduction, a build-up, a climax.
More like in the structure.
But melody, that would be ending up too much in our classical way of thinking.
I see what you mean. Okay.
But,
Okay.
Hard to.
Yeah, and like just to finish on this topic, I think also, I'm assuming part of Aurelien's question about inspiration was, of course, maybe you don't prepare when you go to the recording studio, but even if you're fully improvising in the moment, what comes out will be inspired by what you've been listening to in your life and what you like. So in that sense, you can
that's
still.
what I thought too. But it's kind of like reaching a flow state
Mm-hmm.
where you don't really know what's happening. I think what's really great with this way of composing with my producer is that we are two people, and we kind of confirm each other if that's good. It's kind of like if we edit videos.
It sounds really cool. Yeah, it sounds fun.
And does
Yes,
he have
it's fun.
like an understanding of harmony? Of
No.
Can he tell you no? Like
And
these chords.
that's the craziest thing I discovered while meeting the most influential musicians in the world, is that they don't know how to read music. They don't know anything about
but I mean,
harmony.
often they can know the chords even without knowing how to read a score.
No, he doesn't know.
Okay.
And keep in mind, he's like probably the best producer in Poland,
Mm-hmm.
and he cannot read scores and chords.
Yeah. So, for example, if you improvise a note that does not belong to the chord that is in the electronic music, he can spot it by ear and say, you made a wrong note or not.
No, I think no.
He cannot spot it by ear?
No, and I think
Okay.
that's why it's so. I think the success comes for him from this fact that he doesn't know anything about the music,
Mm-hmm.
and I see this that he's much better composer than me, although I studied music all my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he's a better composer than us.
He has like less limiting beliefs.
Yes, probably yes. I was asking myself why actually he is so good at this.
Yeah.
Although he cannot read music.
Yeah, but do you think he would actually be even better if he had this set of skills and he added on top of that some music
Well,
knowledge?
no, I'm really convinced that he wouldn't. He would be worse.
You're
But
sure? That's a very
I
big
see it because in our
assumption.
in our collaboration, I am always the one blocking the creativity because of my knowledge.
Mhm.
When I'm like, we should go like this because it is more like this usually.
Mhm.
And he acts more with what he calls emotion. I don't know if it's emotion, but
I totally see what you mean. I describe like my brother who's musician and also composes and produces, and he's very intuitive. Obviously, he is a classical musician, but he doesn't know much about like theory and chords and all of that. And he produces also a lot based on his instinct and his ear. He has a very, very good ear. And yeah, I'm more theoretical than he is. And I feel like I could never compose what he's composing. And he has this freedom that comes from not knowing exactly, not analyzing what he's doing, just doing.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I always, the fact of knowing what I'm doing and being able to analyze it, I definitely do feel like it creates barriers, and it makes you kind of get into a cycle of thinking about what you're doing, and you're like, oh no, but I'm just doing like the same old thing. I'm doing a 2-5-1. I should stop.
Yes.
And I think if you don't realize that you're doing a 2-5-1 when you do a 2-5-1, and you're like, oh, this is just pretty, then you're more free.
Yeah.
And I can see it because what you were talking about, like the flow state. I also experience this when I'm improvising. Like sometimes I'm in my head in the like, fuck, you're doing a 2-5-1, like this is shit, like you're doing the same thing. And sometimes I just let go and I do whatever I want to do. And if it's, succession of dominance or a 2-5-1 or a whatever, something very simple, I let myself do that. And then I see where the creativity comes from. It comes from small details, from the groove that you put into it or whatever. And it's really interesting to see like both sides of this experience of being blocked by knowledge or not being blocked by knowledge. However, I do think that it's definitely possible to get past this
I think-
knowledge
I think-
block.
yeah, that's the thing.
One
you
of
can
it-
come to the other side.
I think there is another side of like, if I take my own example, way more knowledge than me. I do think you get to a point where your knowledge is you know so much that it really only is a tool, but then you can still have your creativity.
Yeah, it's like saying that knowing psychology will block you from being good at talking to people. Like in a first stage, it could be true. Like someone will learn psychology and then will start asking himself 1,000 questions, and he will actually start to become a weirdo. And you will say, okay, maybe it's better if you don't know anything. But I think it's just half of the truth. Like the full circle is, okay, he learns psychology, and after he learns to forget what he knows.
I think that's true, and
You know?
what you say in the psychology. And that's actually, we had a long debate with my producer, and we had a big fight like about this. It was really a big fight, and he always kept telling me, "Yeah, but in music, it's not like that."
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't agree on that.
Mm.
But I'm more and more agreeing that the music is something different where this doesn't apply, where you cannot be.
Okay, so it's
Too
unlike
pragmatical.
any other
But
skill.
what about
Yes.
Mozart and Bach?
Yes, they maybe it's about a style of the moment.
So you're saying you think maybe
What if Mozart at his time was like actually more of like a pop artist?
But actually, what you're definitely right about is that now with computers and electronic music, it's much more possible to create complex music without understanding the theory of complex music. Like Mozart and Beethoven, they had to hear the whole thing in their head, and then they wrote it down, and then an orchestra played it. They couldn't just write it down and then the sound of the orchestra came out of the paper, and then they could hear how it sounded. So
Yeah.
it was much more of.
But for sure, one fact we have in front of us is that the most famous musicians in the world, most of them, like 99% of them, they cannot even read music. They don't know anything about the theory.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that like maybe the musicians, like the artists themselves, didn't know so much, but behind them there was a team of people who did know, like arrangers, composers, producers. But to be honest, I don't know enough about like all of the producers to know how well they know.
I thought exactly like you.
And now you meet an amazing producer who also doesn't know. And so
Exactly, and the
change your
biggest
mind.
producer also don't know anything
Yeah,
about
man,
the
I
music.
don't know, but I do see also producers who don't know, and I can see that it's a problem because like there's like they're very creative and they come up with great things, but then suddenly there's like one problem in the music that they can't hear because they don't have this knowledge, and it's like so easy to hear that it's a problem, and they just don't notice, don't hear. So
But the thing
It's
is,
difficult to
there
know.
is no problem in the music.
You're saying like they do parallel fifth?
Yes. No. No, I don't mean this problem. I mean, for example, they have an artist, like a musician, come in to record a part on an instrument, and then the musician plays like a different chord than there was in the production,
Yeah.
and then they don't hear that it's different.
Yeah.
And I listen, I say, well, like you put this chord in the production, I thought it was great because I'll explain like, it had this function, and now you have this different chord that has like that makes the whole thing really boring. So you had the right intuition, but now you're not really hearing that someone changed your own music.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a lack of hearing properly. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm very curious to see the album. You have an official date, or you said end of May?
Yes, end of May,
Okay.
but day passes and I'm less and less optimistic.
Okay.
Well,
But the goal is to release singles along the way.
Yeah.
So you will have some music already.
But you finished
And,
the recording process
Of what?
of the album?
No,
Okay.
we are totally into it.
Okay.
But I have a big team there. Everyone has their own job in this. Yeah. But the main challenge for me, and it will be for you too, because I'm sure you will also make your original music, is to make good music
what some people call good music, other people will call bad music. So you'll never be able to please everyone. I think the important thing is that you like the music that you're creating.
Yes, it's not the most important, but it's important. Yeah. What is important, actually? I would say the success of it.
Yeah, the success of it and the fact that you like it, I think.
And the quality that all the people.
You told me when we were speaking by text. I like this idea. You told me you got used to writing like songs, and you told me it's like making TikTok videos. Each one you get better, and so can you elaborate on that? Like, did you mean from the psychology side, you try to imagine how the audience will feel when they listen, and you try to maximize retention as you do in a video? Because that's actually
that's what I was thinking of at the beginning, but there was also a big fight with my producer.
Okay,
is that actually
he told you to stop maximizing retention?
No, he told me to stop thinking about the music like it's a TikTok.
Okay, so you changed this about this idea.
Yes.
Okay, and why did he tell you that?
Because in the music there are different rules of composing, but it's so hard for me to talk about this because actually I'm kind of in the process, and so I will say something now, and tomorrow I will change my mind. Yeah. So that's why everything what you told me before, I changed my mind already. And
you know the rapper Connor Price?
Yes.
He got very big on social media. You know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he made an interview. He said like he's composing his rap songs exactly as TikToks, and what he meant was like he calculates in advance when there's going to be a drop, and like every 5 seconds something new has to happen. So he'll change the rhythm of the flow of how he speaks, and put like triplets instead of semiquavers in his flow, just like every like 5 seconds to make something new happen for dopamine,
Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter told them before, but they don't listen. Better, bring a better bad because I'm bigger, better. Solo, single, selling, separate.
It's like a formula.
Yeah.
But we are always looking for that formula. But I don't know. I feel like it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
In music, you kind of have to invent the formula, which doesn't exist before. And then it becomes a formula. Like Jake, for example, he has a very specific formula now, we can say.
For his music?
Yes.
What is it?
I would say it's, in the beginning, some kind of introduction, melodic introduction, then actually it's more like, something like rap, right? Mm-hmm. And then a melodic, something melodic, and this combination, he used it like perfectly.
Okay. Like Golden Hour.
Yeah. Now all his music resembles a lot to that, but it's always working.
Okay, so change of topics, guys. I think Emile, like you had a lot of crazy stories that happened to you when you when you made your videos.
Yes.
Would you tell us about like some of your best and some of your worst experiences?
Okay.
Maybe you can start with like your worst experience, maybe.
My worst?
Yes.
In the video making or
in the video making, yes. Yes. Did you have a worst experience?
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
I think you know which one I'm going to talk about.
I think you have a few. Yes. So I don't even know.
I can think of at least two stories where he called me like on the phone at like 3 a.m. and he's like, "Man, I am so unlucky in life."
But it's
my
true,
life is shit.
I remember at least maybe 8 times when you forgot your iPad somewhere.
No, more.
Yeah.
More.
And then
the iPad in London airport.
Yes. I think,
also, like when we were on a boat, you forgot it in a laundry place.
Well, that was the craziest one, actually.
And you still have this iPad, right?
Yes, that's okay. Man, that's why I think
you are the luckiest man on earth. I think.
You know, a few days ago in Warsaw, I I left my iPad at the airport and then took a taxi and went to a restaurant,
Really?
which was 1 hour away from the airport.
Okay.
And then I was eating with my friend, my editor, and we needed to airdrop the content we just shot. And then I realized I forgot my iPad, and I was really just like, oh, I forgot my iPad. Let me check where it is. Airport, okay. Don't it's like I don't even care because I know I will get it, and I got it.
Another day at work.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I lost it more than 8 times.
Well, 8. Yeah.
Actually, I think the craziest loss of iPad was in London.
Yeah.
London, I remember.
Which is connected to one of the shittiest. We can say bad words.
It's okay. Yes.
Yes, you can beep it.
No, we won't beep it. This
No,
is
let's beep
for,
it. It would be nice.
Only adults here.
One of the shtit story of my life.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Go on.
It was the one in London, where I shot some amazing content with a violinist, very popular, called Esther Abrami. Esther Abrami.
Well, okay. You're
Yes.
saying the name.
Yes.
Good.
I shouldn't.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I'm not scared because I think it's important
Yeah.
to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of the repercussion.
No, it's good.
So what
You
happened?
shouldn't be scared.
It was like it was in the beginning of my TikTok career. I think I had like 400,000 followers on TikTok, and I shot content with Esther Abrami. It was really spontaneous. I wrote to her, and she told me she'll be in London, so I took a plane ticket to London to make a video with her. We made it. We made 3 videos, very nice videos. And then I went to Paris, and I left my iPad in the security box for the X-ray, and then I left it there. And then on the plane, I wanted to watch a movie, and I realized I don't have it. So I told the captain to
go back.
To go back because. And I was really serious. I wouldn't. I made a drama there. The whole cabin crew was like kind of shocked of my drama, I think. And I met one of the cabin crew from EasyJet again on another flight, and she remembered me.
Okay.
Okay. And the captain
She was
went back
traumatized.
to London for you.
No. And this cabin crew we met. And I showed her after the views I made on that video to get my iPad back. Beautiful story. I put her in my Instagram story. I don't know if you remember.
No.
On the plane, I when because the most horrible thing is that I could see that it was at the airport. So the captain called actually security at the airport for me, which he shouldn't be able to do normally. And they told me that it's not there, it's lost. And then when we flew back to Paris, before even we landed, I booked another flight to go back to London and take my iPad. And I arrived.
It was not even for the iPad itself, but for the videos.
Content, yes,
for
yes.
the content.
I didn't care about the iPad. It was just 1,000 euros. But the content, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I arrived in London and I found it. Thanks to making it ring. It was in some box. And then I made the video. I edited it and I posted it. And it becomes viral.
Okay.
And
It seems like a happy ending until
it seems
now.
like an happy ending, right? You would think so. But no. After 24 hours, the video made 17 million views.
Okay.
And 1.7 million likes. It was my most viral video ever already in 24 hours with Esther Abrami, who is a big star in the musical world, in the classical world. But then I received a text from Esther Abrami, telling me that I need to delete the video.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you know why?
Oh, tell us. Yeah, we know why, but you have to tell.
Yeah,
for
but
the
it's
audience.
so hard because I need to I feel like it's talking to the viewer or talking to you. I don't know. I'm just repeating the story which I told you already, guys.
Yeah, it's a very good story, so we like to hear it twice. Don't worry.
I
concur.
I'm trying to keep the audience retention, but I know that you know the story, so it's super hard. But yes, follow for part 2. I will tell you in the second podcast.
Okay. So now it's part 2. What happened?
We can edit and cut,
Yes.
No, and she told me that I have to remove it because her boyfriend, the guy who is making this Voracles.
So a lot of names coming out today.
You know Voracles?
Well, I mean, I know the story, so yes. But
okay.
apart from that, no, I don't know him.
Oh yeah, you didn't know.
I knew him from before.
Yes,
I
you knew him.
listened to some of
actually
his music.
very influential in the electronic music, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was jealous, I think, of the video that because many people were commenting that we are like a great couple, stuff like that. So,
But that, of course, it's just part of the storytelling in the
yes,
video.
I put in the caption, in the text of the video that I fell in love with her, just to create a story. Of course, I didn't fall in love with her, but but I wanted to create a beautiful story which made him jealous, and I think till today that it's a very stupid way of thinking. But maybe
He was insecure about it.
Maybe insecure. Maybe also Esther didn't want this video to be out because she didn't play that well.
Maybe.
Ça balance.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But I think what's interesting is how, from a psychology standpoint, audience loves to create narratives, and especially romantic narratives,
Yes.
between people in the video.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
They love it.
From nowhere.
From nowhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes you help them. You put these comments, I'm falling
Yeah.
in love. Then you're sure they will follow. But sometimes you do nothing, just normal, no specific
And they like
direction
to
of that.
To see it everywhere, to
And-
see romance.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a beautiful human pattern, I think, in a way. It shows how humans have evolved for this, actually.
Yeah, people love a
because
good
if
good
people
love
would-
story.
Yeah, if people wouldn't put romance everywhere, we wouldn't have survived as a species. That's what I mean. So you deleted the video,
Yes, I deleted the
and
video.
how
And I
did
think-
you,
I
how
think
did you feel in the emotion of the moment you delete the video and it's your most viral video ever? Because I remember you called me at this moment,
Really?
and I remember your emotion. Yes.
I don't remember. Can you?
Yes, I
remind
was
me?
in the middle of a party, and I was like, "Yeah, what are you saying?"
Yes, I remember. I was
And you
the
were
next day.
so sad, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I can hear you, but don't
yes, I
worry."
remember. I wanted to quit TikTok.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
because you are putting so much effort, and I had to put so much effort because I lost my iPad.
Yeah.
I was sick. I was broke, so I had to sleep in some hostels with some people.
Hostel in London.
Yes.
Yeah, I know them also.
Right,
You know
yeah.
them, yes?
I also know them.
Yes, we all know their smells.
Yeah,
I would say. But yeah, it's so putting so much effort, and then someone just wants to delete it, and it's a musician who I think if he didn't react like that, I would have valued him as a musician, and I would have loved to become, to just know him, to meet him.
yeah,
But now it's just like no connection, and that is I think there's something that it happens more and more actually, where just another musician wants to confront me instead of being my friend. So like this Voracles guy, which I never met personally, but I just know that he hates me.
yeah.
I for example, did you see the last video of TwoSet Violin?
Oh, that was something we had to talk about.
Yes.
Very good idea.
So it's a
Yeah.
great transition because
Yeah.
they made a video where they made fun of us.
This
of
video.
our- They made this video.
No,
What this? Who do you
this
mean?
DISS.
Ah,
Ah,
dissing us.
Yeah.
Okay, because with your accent, it
this-
sounds very similar.
No, I know it sounds the same, but this with a D.
And
Yeah.
not this, but this. Okay,
This.
this,
This.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
did you watch this video?
Let's say
And-
parodic.
And they made
parody.
fun of us in kind of a mean way, I think. And
You think so?
And
I thought it was
and-
kind of funny, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that.
I mean, it depends what their actual intention behind it is, but the video in itself, I accept it. I thought it was cool.
That was my first reaction too.
Yeah.
But I totally changed my mind about this.
Okay.
But
Tell us why.
one of the first comment I saw under this video was Voracles.
No, really.
Workless? Ah ouais?
Yes.
What did he say?
He just like, a smiley emoji of like laughing.
Yeah.
Wow. It was like
So
super
he's
happy.
still bitter.
Finally.
Still bitter after all this time.
That's how I felt,
Yeah.
Forgot about him.
They're
He's still,
going to make a club like with all the people who hate
Who hates Emilio
Emil.
Piano?
Yeah, we make like
Yes.
Voracles, TwoSet, Violin.
No, but
Yes.
in the end, I think now I realize that more people hate you, more it means you're succeeding.
Yeah, it's part of the game for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so, what else did you learn about the behind the scenes of this video?
Behind the scenes? No, I mean that at the first, I actually, as soon as I saw it, I shared it to Chen because he was the most
He was
Targeted.
actually the target, I
Yes.
think.
I think the actual target of that video, I mean, it was a strict parody of the video of Chen and Van Tuan.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yes.
It was literally the
Yes.
parody of that video.
It was a Campanella, right?
Campanella with all the same dialogues
Yeah.
and the same text and everything.
Yes. I hope so because he didn't play very well on the piano. So if it was
In
a
the
parody
two
of my
sets, yeah.
videos, he will have some problems with me. But no, I think that like my first initial reaction was to share it, and I shared it in my stories. I think I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and I put a comment with two meanings. But
You said like people are doing parody of my videos, right?
on my story, yes.
Yeah.
But then I also put a comment on the video like haters.
Oh yeah.
will say it's fake.
Yeah.
But then I deleted it because I think it was just promoting some kind of hate in the way they talked, in the way that they made the parody. I could feel some kind of la haine, ça se dit comment?
Hatred.
Hatred. Yeah. And I shared it to Chen, and he called me right after it. Even though he was going to perform 2 hours recital in San Francisco in 20 minutes. And he told me his heart was beating and...
So he agreed with you? Like he didn't find it funny?
yeah. The thing is, Chen and TwoSet Violin, they made a lot of videos together before.
Yeah.
And I wrote to TwoSet Violin, I think, quite at the beginning of my social media career.
Yeah, remember you told me about it.
Yeah,
when you
I wanted
texted
to
them.
do a video with them because they are really good comedians, I think.
Yeah.
And so I realized that it could be interpreted as something not nice. No, they're also good musicians. But
especially good comedians.
yes, I think they became famous because they have those funny faces,
Yeah. Like they look kind of ridiculous, but people love it, and people
Yes.
like develop.
But actually,
People can relate to
they
them,
also a while ago they did a video in which one of your videos was in it. They did.
yeah.
I was the first one they did, actually.
Yes.
Are
remember.
these TikTok classical music videos fake or not?
Yeah, and they made like top 10,
Yeah.
and I was the top one. And when they saw my brother taking out his clarinet, they burst out laughing, and I found it funny when I saw the YouTube
that was
video.
a good video actually. That
Yeah.
was there was no hate in that.
Yeah.
I think it was their first time they made this kind of videos.
Yeah, but I think they didn't.
But now
see,
the success probably
Yeah.
doesn't make them so happy.
Yeah,
Which
because
is sad.
they see that now this format is everywhere.
You want to know what's really funny is that like this parody video is like the most viral video on their Instagram.
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
yeah.
No, look, it's for their Instagram. It's
very viral, but
it's quite
like
viral.
Not the most viral.
On their Instagram, one of the most viral.
Of the recent ones, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just funny because it's a viral format.
Yeah, well,
So
I think
this is why it works.
they wanted to create a musical beef, and that's how they usually get the most views. Also, before with other musical beefs. But you know,
I didn't know that they because I actually never watch the videos.
yeah, I used to watch
But-
those videos. I
Okay.
found them really entertaining.
They made beefs with who?
I think the one I watched was with bassist
Okay.
Davey or something.
Yeah.
And actually, this was on the marketing level really smart. And I think they became more famous through this.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. You know,
Yeah.
it's creating music, it's a beef when actually it's for both parties. It's making them
I
more
think
famous.
it's very smart, and I was already thinking we should implement that into music.
What, you want to create a musical beef
Yeah.
between each other?
Not necessarily, but why not? But in general, like introducing beefs, it's like
Yeah.
exactly like in combat sports, it happens all the time,
Yes,
and it's actually useful for both parties.
but in my opinion, it's not like the most beautiful way of getting famous. It's,
Yeah.
a lot of creating a lot of hate, negativity.
It has to be like friendly and
But the problem,
funny, you know.
yeah, the problem is like people can easily take it very seriously.
Yeah.
And be very first degree about it.
Yeah.
And I think for sport it makes more sense because sport is about a confrontation, and so it's easier to understand that it's just
Absolutely.
a show.
But music,
Whereas with music, it can quickly get very mean and nasty if you know, like it's not a competition. It really
Because
isn't.
there is no healthy way of resolving it.
Yeah.
With sport, it's just healthy. It's resolved in a healthy way by
Yeah.
fighting each
By
other,
fighting, yeah.
which cannot happen in music. So
yes.
Unless like you really create a format of like a battle, like a musical battle,
But
you know.
that's what I think they did a concert with this beef, TwoSet Violin,
Mhm.
in the
Yes,
end,
yes,
which was successful.
between themselves. Yeah.
I don't know it or with the bassist.
Oh,
I saw some
yes,
publicity about a big concert and
yes. But still, even in that beef, I could see that some people were really like bassist camp, and others were like
yeah, that's very
violin
stupid.
camp.
People
That's
people
very
take these
stupid.
things like very at heart. Like
Yeah.
when they
Yeah,
hate a musician, hate a style, they are there's a lot of hate actually.
Yeah, and I
it's
think,
funny that people
it's
take it
not-
so personally because it's like if you don't like it, just don't listen to it.
That's
you know?
human. That's totally human. You want to be there. That's why the Second World War happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, those TwoSet, they actually wanted to make a video with me, so quite sad because now they won't. Je règle mes comptes.
So they ask you to do a video with them after the this video?
No,
Or
before.
Okay.
But no, I asked them to make a video, and they were interested in it.
Okay.
But now I don't think that it's a good idea because they promote kind of like a hate which like disconnects us all when we should actually help each other in this music.
I don't know. Like until we have, I would say from what I saw, the video in itself, for me it didn't contain hatred. It was kind of funny and lighthearted.
Oh, but that's what I forgot to say about Chen and TwoSet.
The comments,
TwoSet.
some were quite hateful, of course.
Yeah, the comments. Yeah.
And it's true that they liked all of these comments, so you kind of wonder. But yeah,
Okay,
you
but
were saying you
imagine
had
TwoSet
another.
and Chen are friends.
Okay,
Imagine if I did a video where I parody you in the same style without telling you. I just put the video out.
yeah.
Imagine, just put yourself in that situation.
They didn't tell him.
No, they didn't. And in the comment section, you're absolutely right. There is so much hate, and what is crazy is to see the hate from Hilary Hahn. Did you
Yeah.
see that
Yeah.
one? She was. You could feel the hate in it.
What did she write? Finally,
Yeah, in capital letters, 3-point exclamation. Like, finally,
Yeah, but
someone
I
dissing
think
us.
what's interesting, if we try to put ourselves in their shoes, I think what happens is that you can see it as like it's like a game or a race where some of the people in the race are using shortcuts and some are not using shortcuts. And people who don't use shortcuts will always hate the ones who do. So our
Absolutely.
format is like a shortcut.
Yes.
And we use the shortcuts, but they don't. So it's
they
kind
do.
of it's
They
kind
do.
of normal. No, they didn't use our viral format.
No, but they wouldn't have been famous violinists without becoming
Yeah.
famous on internet, and they
But-
use this shortcut.
Yeah, but still, they see themselves are more like pure than us because
Now.
they don't use
But now,
our format.
but I think that it's kind of ironic that they make fun
Yeah,
of us
of course.
when they actually achieved fame the same way.
Yeah, but before. Yeah, of
But
course.
again,
I mean,
like the-
Hilary Hahn, for example.
The actual hate
Yeah.
isn't actually coming
I
from
can
them directly.
understand.
It's coming from a lot of other people. Like if you think about it, they're comedians. They do a lot of comedy, so it makes sense that if anyone's going to do a parody video on us, it would have to be them. And they did it well. Like you got to give credit to them. Like it would be so easy to fuck up a parody video. There's like there was a lot of elements that made the video just watchable. You know,
Yeah.
the video in and of itself, it was kind of good. I
But
think it's
from
not that
someone
easy.
like Hilary Hahn, I totally see why she wouldn't like.
But she also
content.
gets famous through internet now.
Yeah,
It's you cannot avoid anymore. You cannot be a famous musician without internet.
yeah, but
Nowadays.
it's always the same. Like just seeing someone else using a weapon that you don't use, you always have to find a way to rationalize that you're better than them.
Yeah.
Of course.
Or use the same weapon.
Yes,
So-
yes. And I think that the hate from the classical musicians, it's all because of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like someone making money, like someone making like $2 million just because of a shitty crypto coin. People who didn't make it will always see him as like not legitimate.
Yes.
It's normal because
To
he
stay
will be
congruent
like,
with
they don't
themselves.
deserve it.
Yes.
Yeah. And he will be like, yeah, but you could have bought the shitty coin as well. So I'm legit, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's exactly like a good example, but I see what you mean.
I think it's a very good example.
Yeah, it's kind of extreme. I'm not saying like we are the equivalent of crypto scammers.
Well, wait, buying a shitty coin and being a scammer is even like
Yeah,
another
exactly.
level.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But I think it's just like the buying the shitty coin. Not many people actually get rich doing that because
Yeah,
a
but
lot of
some
people
do.
they get rich, they get lucky once, then
Exactly.
they try and do the same
Yeah.
thing, and then they lose all their money.
Yeah. But I mean, if someone I know has a lucky move like this, I will be like, yeah, man, congrats. You got
Yes,
lucky.
but also it's luck.
yeah,
Whereas,
but I will still be like, I will not like hate on him. I will be like, okay, you took the bet and you won.
I mean,
So,
I would be,
fair play to you,
I would say
you know?
congrats because it's not only luck. Because if you manage to actually sell at the right moment and not do anything else
Yeah.
and keep the money, it's not just luck. You were actually quite
Yeah.
smart or
But
quite
you know,
good about it.
this mentality, I think it's the reason why you started social media, because you
Yeah.
were able to think instead of hating someone who just win the game of life, you were like, okay, so what did he do? Okay, so I will just do the same.
Yeah, I think that's also the mentality that we have, the three of us.
Yeah,
That's why we are friends, I think.
yeah,
And also, that's why we managed to be friends despite the competition between us. Because we managed to say, okay, the competition is just a way of learning from each other and instead of resenting from each other. So it allows us to keep like both fronts together.
yeah. Actually,
know?
super nice that we can grow like crazy, and every time someone, I think like for example on Instagram, you remember when it was like the first one who achieves 2 or 3 million
Yeah.
will get. The first one who no private jokes.
We'll get a box of chocolate. Is that it?
Okay, so we cannot say to the people what we bet about the prize that the first one who achieved 1 million or 2 million had.
Yeah, but
But it
what's
was a
what's
very
funny
nice
is
bet.
yeah, it's funny that you know someone is growing like crazy because of a video,
Yeah,
and you see the and I see you like grow like crazy, and I say, oh wow, he had a genius idea of just I'm not sure. I would have done it if you didn't do it. And like if we both get into a rut where we don't grow anymore, I would hope that you find a way to grow again like crazy, because I know that it will help me, and probably the same for you with me.
I played for like a guy who was doing like how do you say, like interview for media, and filming me like behind the scene. And I went to the station, and someone actually came up to me to do a forehand, but it was really like not fake for once for the interview for the guy. So it was like the perfect coincidence. And we did like a little forehand together. It was very good. Like people will say, okay, you were cynical because you play with a child for the views, and I think it's not cynical at all, because if you look at the result, like the child will be so happy to make a viral video, and he will get even more motivated to pursue like his dreams of doing music. He will like have you as a role model. It's almost like pedagogy. Like if you are a teacher and you organize a concert at the end of the year of all your students, you will have students that are like 5 years old. You put them on stage, and of course they're not going to play like the most beautiful music, but it's still a moment they will never forget, because it's their first concert, and they are on stage and they have an audience and they play. And it's the same for a video, like putting on a pedestal a child who practices art, even if he's not there yet. It's still very good mission, I think.
Yeah.
Let's try to finish this podcast with some anecdotes.
Do you have like a crazy hater, or
Yeah, that's a good question. Crazy hater? No, I think I have a hater, but who is someone who is very close to me. So that's kind of scary, because.
But does he or her reveal their identity?
I don't know who it is. No, but I know it's a guy.
Yeah.
And the guy, what he's doing, it's like he's texting some DMs to every girl that I follow on Instagram. So I don't follow a lot of girls, but I follow like some.
Sorry, go on. I don't know why you are laughing.
I follow some girls on Instagram that are like friend of mine, or I don't know, like from university back in the day, or some girls that I dated maybe. And every single of these girls, they send me a screenshot of someone that wrote them a DM. And the DM goes like, did you sleep with Aurelien?
You told me about that
DM. I told you?
Yes.
Yeah. And
I don't know about this.
The girl is like freaked out, like, who are you? Because the account is like with no picture and with a fake name. And she's like, who are you? And,
that must be so scary for a girl. Can you imagine you receive a message?
And
did they actually all...
No, so like some of them, actually slept with.
But that's the most creepy, if you slept a girl.
Some of them are just
you.
friends, and some of them are even like people. Some people I follow for a video, but I didn't even meet them,
And they receive this.
Just because I follow them, and on Instagram I follow like maybe 500 people, so it's not that much. And I think he sent like a mass DM.
But how do you know that someone close to you?
Yeah, so you'll see, because most of the time the girls send me the screenshot, and I'm like, okay, can you please continue the conversation so I can see, have some clues about who it is. And so they continue the conversation, and the guy starts to give like really precise details. He's like, did you sleep with Aurelien? And then he's like, okay, did he have a date with you in Montmartre? And and then he's like saying precise things about actually where I live. And he's like, did he bring you to this bar for a date?
And you did.
And some of the time I actually did. And the girl is like so freaked out. And then so when I understood that it's actually a guy doing this, and I think he's like trying to ruin my reputation, like really like getting me cancelled. because on the first step he's saying like, yes, Aurelien, you have to know he also slept with me and he broke my heart, and
But how do you know it's a guy?
yeah, you will see.
Oh.
And then he's saying like the most creepy shit possible. Like, yeah, he slept with me and I was 16. I never slept in my life with a girl that's 16, you know. And he's saying this, and then the girl is sending me the screenshot, and she's like, "What the fuck? You sleep with this girl who is 16?" I'm like, "What the fuck? Who is this?" And then the next step, the guy, the fake account is saying, "So, are you also into girls? Have you ever tried with a girl?" And then he starts to text her to ask, actually, like for nudes, you know.
What?
As pretending to be a girl. Like, he pretends to be a girl who is heartbroken, and then he says like, yeah, have you ever tried with a girl? And then the girl is like, no. And he's like, so would you want to try sometime? Can you send me a picture? And very creepy stuff.
What?
So the guy is
So
actually
the guy
pretending.
is trying to break your reputation, and in so
And-
doing, he is completely destroying his own reputation.
Yeah, but he's
That's
trying
crazy.
to actually like maybe seduce the girl he's texting by pretending to be himself a girl who is heartbroken, and maybe, I don't know, like he wants to make her feel better, and he wants to convince her to meet. And I don't know. That's very very scary. But and every time, then the girl is like freaked out, and then the fake account blocks the conversation. So I have like 10 conversations of screenshots, and then he recreates a new account. But I think it's someone who knows me and who knows where I live, because he said like Montmartre, and he said a bar that I go very often to.
You know, my haters, I think, they just know me from social media.
So they
So-
cannot actually know like personal stuff about you.
Yeah, the only dangerous hater is the one which is close to you.
You told us a crazy story about video with Esther Abrami,
Yeah.
but
But-
we want more. Another crazy
I
story.
And
have-
we know there is more.
Yes.
Because we were the ones on the phone being like, man, don't do this, don't do this. It's crazy. And you
there was
didn't.
one video when I remember I called you and I was on the verge of crying. It was in Düsseldorf with
Yes.
Britta Nalsella.
And you asked me, you said, should I do this? And I said, listen, based on everything you said, you definitely shouldn't do this.
Yes.
But I know you, and I know that it will end well in the end, so I don't say anything.
Yes.
But
I
based
told
on
him
the elements.
the opposite. I told him, yeah, of course, do it. I remember.
You wanted to hear the story.
Yeah, I was
wanted
like,
to see what
yeah,
was
man,
gonna
nothing to
Yes.
lose. Why are you asking yourself
No,
so
so
many questions?
so the way
Go
the
for
thing,
it.
I think it's interesting to say how it started from like my perspective. It's Emil calls me and he says, "Listen, man, I have this crazy idea. I think we should play in a restaurant. We should play piano in a restaurant."
Yeah.
I say, "Yes, I think it's a very good idea. I also saw videos where they do that. I think it's a great idea. Why don't you come to Paris? There's lots of great restaurants. We can play there." And he says, "No, I think we have to play in Düsseldorf." And
No. The story even is earlier. I think it's with Ricardo,
Yes, okay, so I let you tell the story, man.
because I actually came up with the idea of playing in restaurants after seeing a video of a singer, Ricardo,
Yeah.
who is like typical Italian singer. You know, very
Yeah.
typical like
He likes pizza.
Yes.
Horizontally challenged.
yes. And so he had the pizza and he took the pizza and ate it. And as soon as he got a bite, he started singing Italian opera. And so I thought, okay, that's a great concept. It was viral at the time.
This video was so viral on
Yes,
Instagram at the
so
time.
viral. And
A
so,
few videos of him like
And
this.
so I thought, why don't I just do the same? Just I played the piano before, and then he joins on singing. And so I said, okay, where can I make this video in Germany? And I checked
The fastest
the fastest possible. Yes.
yeah.
And I checked the most viral video from this Ricardo was at the restaurant of Britta Nalsella. You know, the one that made 100 million views with
Yeah.
the cappuccino.
But this one is in Düsseldorf,
And this one is in Düsseldorf,
which is not at all close to Hamburg.
Yes.
It's not close to anywhere. It's in the middle of Germany.
yes, 6 hours probably driving from Hamburg. But yeah, I think how did I get his contact? I don't remember, but yeah, I got in touch with him. Oh yeah, I just called the restaurant, the cafe where he works.
No, wait,
You remember?
I remember because actually I think you were in, like, you have family in Düsseldorf and you were visiting them, and then you became super ill and you had to go to the hospital
yes.
in Düsseldorf.
Yes.
And so you called me, like, you were like, I don't know, you had like a throat infection or something. You were
Yes,
really,
yes.
really in a bad state.
Tonsillitis.
And then after like a few days, you started getting a bit better, but you were still like in the hospital. And then you call me, you say, yeah, I want to organize this video. I think I will just leave the hospital quickly without them seeing, and I will go and talk to this guy. And so I think that's what you did, right?
Yes, exactly. I completely mixed my story. And then the guy tells me, yeah, do whatever you want here. He had like a few million followers already, so he was super happy about it. But he wasn't so like, he just, yeah, do whatever you want, man. And so I go to Hamburg and I take my car and my piano, my acoustic piano, 300 kilos, and I bring it to the cafe. And then when I arrived there,
and you felt already that it might not be so simple.
Yes.
Because you didn't even have his contact. He was
Yes.
like, yeah, do whatever.
Yes.
And you called me, you're like, man, like, I'm not 100% sure.
Yes.
No, you didn't tell me this. And for a long time, you're like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's a big commitment. I'm going to take my piano there. And we talk a lot. And at one point, I'm like, but actually, like, is he okay? Like, do you have his contact? You're like, oh, no.
yeah, no, I remember
have
you
his
told me.
contact.
I think I had his contact, or at least I could just call the restaurant.
Yeah.
And find a way to get his contact.
But I was like, did you call him? And you're like, no.
Yeah, and I remember that I didn't want to call him because I could feel that if I call him, there would be some problems.
Yeah.
And I thought it's better to just go there and confront him, which is what I did. And I confronted him, and he wasn't happy at all about the video. He got super angry at me. So I came with my piano and asked him, can I put the piano in your restaurant? And he forgot about me already, and he screamed at me and in front of everyone in the cafe, saying, like, can you imagine if I come to your home and ask to put a piano? No, it's impossible. And then I called you,
Yeah.
But yeah, in the end,
You went back the next day?
No, I just went back 3 times there and I said, yeah, man, please, like, I came here with the piano. I will just play tomorrow very fast and then it will be finished. Don't worry. And after like asking this 4 or 5 times, I don't know, he was like, okay, just do whatever you want, but never talk to me ever again.
And then
And that was the spirit I had.
you did the video and it had 100 million views,
Yes.
which is a nice end to the story.
Yes. I feel like...
And you didn't have to delete it.
The most problematic videos bring the most views in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that's true
Sometimes.
for you. But
Yeah.
I don't
Not
think
for
that's
you.
true for me.
Yes.
Like,
Anyway.
I don't see this correlation.
I think we should wrap it up,
Yeah,
guys,
yes.
because our time has run out here. But yeah, it was really nice to have you as our first guest on this
French
podcast.
Piano Guys.
Yeah, till next time.